Hellraiser's Hell Priestess explored the evolution of Kirsty Cotton from a simple girl to a maniac Cenobite. The films of the Hellraisers series often test the limits of the extreme with their elements of sadomasochism, visceral gore, dark fantasy and some Lovecraft science fiction in horror films. Often the last living woman to take on the killer is called the last girl. Don't do that, go to hell, but Kirsty Cotton has never been called the last girl in the Hellraiser franchise. This is probably due to the fact that the films are not like any other slasher franchise, and their role in the series is quite underestimated and unique. The character first appeared in the first Hellraiser movie based on Clive Barker's novella, and has appeared in 3 more Hellraiser movies since. Kirsty's character begins as a beautiful blend of inner strength and silent vulnerability. She is a convincing character and extremely independent. Her interactions with the Cenobites are eventful and add spice to the Hellraiser narrative. She is often brave and does not seem to be bothered by any threat, especially when it comes to protecting herself or her loved ones. We want the man who was Kirsty Cotton to be an integral part of the franchise, and actor Ashley Lawrence certainly lived up to the role in this video. We will tell you all about the development of this fascinating character and her remarkable journey from a simple girl to a Cenobite. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot, thank you. Let's start with the story of Kirsty Cotton before she became a priestess of hell. As we have already mentioned, Kirsty first appeared in the original Hellraiser film based on the horror novella by Clive Barker. This story concerned an unfaithful wife, Julia, her husband and the husband's deviant brother, who used the wife to fulfill his commandment. He needed a steady blood supply and Julia would make him sacrifices. In the novel, Kirsty was a friend of the guy and she even had a secret crush on him. But when the work was turned into a film, her character was changed to the man's daughter, and therefore Julia's stepdaughter. In the film, Kirsty Cotton is the young and extremely independent daughter of Larry Cotton. Julia Cotton is his second wife and the family moves to, who has been missing for some time. Kirsty wants to live alone and finds her own place. I found a room. What I said, I found a room. One day when she passes by the house, she sees an unknown man made her believe that Julia cheated on her father. To find out more, she secretly followed the man into the house and discovered something terrible. She watches her stepmother suddenly attack the man and stare in horror, like a skinless creature who is actually her uncle Frank, using the man's blood to feed herself, while Frank tries to eat him. The man tries to escape and Frank pursues her. When he finds Kirsty in hiding and attacks her, she grabs the box of the lomotion and thinks to defend herself. In the process, she realizes that the box has some kind of power over him, so she throws it out the window to give her some time to escape. Kirsty then manages to avoid a distracted Frank and escapes the house. She goes to get the box from the outside, but all the stress makes her pass out. When she wakes up, she is in a hospital. She initially thinks it was all a bad dream, but when the doctor gives her the puzzle box, she realizes that the horror she was experiencing was real. As she fumbled with the box, she managed to solve the puzzle and unknowingly summoned the Cenobites and their vicious leader Pinhead. Her quick thinking allows her to make a deal with them, but she is spared because she promises to tell them the whereabouts of her uncle, who has been hiding from them all this time. Kirsty then flees the hospital and returns to Frank's house. She meets her stepmother Julia and her father, who claim that Frank is dead and even show her the body. She does not know that it is actually Larry who died, killed by Frank, who took his skin to impersonate Kirsty's father. The Cenobites reappear and Frank tries to kill Kirsty, but in the end he stabs Julia to death, after which the Cenobites dismember him with hooks. When the Cenobites turn to Kirsty, she desperately tries to escape from them. She once again stumbles upon the Lamertian box, thereby sending the Cenobites to their hellish realm back. She then tries to put an end to the threat of the Cenobites once and for all by burning the puzzle box, but something appears in the flames and the box turns into a winged creature that flies away. Kirsty Cotton was crucial to the plot of the movie, the hero that determines the course of the narrative. Her quick thinking ultimately saved her from Frank and the Cenobites, and it was clear that she would take on another important role in a sequel. Kirsty was next to be seen in Hellbound Hellraiser 2. That starts with that her character is recovering in a hospital from the trauma of the previous film. She consults Dr. Philip Channard and his assistant Kyle McRae about their experiences and tells them everything about the Cenobites. She feels that the mattress on which her stepmother died has a connection with the hellish creatures and wants it to be destroyed. That mattress must be destroyed. Kirsty initially does not know that Dr. Philip has been looking for the puzzle box for quite some time, and after hearing everything she has to say, He uses the mattress to summon Julia by using the blood of the mentally ill patient who cut himself. This patient had some disturbing hallucinations of bugs crawling over his skin, and he manically tried to cut it off with a razor. As soon as the blood summons Julia, she eats the patient, and Kirsty realizes that something hellish has been awakened again. Is she trying to put an end to this and is looking for the help of assistant Kyle? But without Kyle Kirsty knowing it, she has her own plans. Her idea is to somehow use the suit configuration to bring her dead father back to life. The plan goes wrong when Julia eats Kyle, and Kirsty is somehow transferred to the hellish domain of the Cenobites. Along with Dr. Philip and another patient of the hospital, Kirsty and the patient are attacked by the Cenobites, but just in time she makes Pinhead aware of a strange coincidence. She shows him the picture of a man who is somewhat identical to him, and Pinhead learns that he was once a human being, just like all the other Cenobites, that you were a human being. This is because Dr. Philip is now a Cenobite himself and kills all the other Cenobites, including Pinhead, the psychotic doctor, Tobin and Kirsty and the patient, in order to solve the puzzle box and put an end to the chaos. They manage to lure Chenard once again into the realm of Cenobites, and this time Leviathan kills him. Kirsty and the patient then uses the riddle box once again to return to Earth. In the second film, Kirsty Cotton serves as the central character and the narrative revolves around her exploits. But even after the success of this film, she was on Earth only in a small and insignificant cameo in Hellraiser 3. Kirsty was last seen in the sixth film of the franchise entitled Hellraiser Hellseeker. Who married Trevor Gooden, who is now suffering from amnesia from a car accident. Pinhead comes to remind him that he was the one who tried to kill Kirsty in the first place and that she allegedly died in the car accident. According to Pinhead, Trevor had repeatedly cheated on her and used the puzzle box to get her killed, but it turned out that the sinister plan hadn't worked quite as Trevor had intended. When the Cenobites arrived, Kirsty made a deal with them, where she offered 5 souls of her own. I will bring you 5 souls in exchange for mine. She then killed 3 of Trevor's lover and the friend with whom he had conspired to kill her. The 5th victim is Trevor himself, and it is revealed that he is already in the realm of Cenobites. Kirsty had outwitted him, and while they were driving together, she shot him in the head and caused the accident. She even manages to evade all the charges and blame Trevor for the murders she committed, and the film ends when Kirsty Cotton leaves with the box of the Lamotion. Her transformation into the Hell Priestess. The character of Kirsty Cotton goes far beyond her few film appearances. In fact, the comic lore is quite extensive, so we tried to get a piece of it for her here too. In the following section we will dive deep into the comic series and how it dealt with our protagonist. The story begins with a prisoner languishing in a godforsaken prison. A priest-like person appears and provides him with the notorious puzzle box, suggesting that this may be the only escape option for him if the convict solves the puzzle box. If Pinhead comes vicious as always, he pulls hooks and chains through the priest and he is made skinless and in excruciating pain. The next issue shows us another side of Pinhead. He was called the characters by a girl. If a story, a comic or a movie should explore such a plot, it would certainly be a very interesting reading to watch with the HBO series, which will probably be released sometime this year. We are looking forward to the possibilities. Not much is known about the plot, but we would not be surprised to see that Kirsty is introduced in a new avatar. There are so many existing storylines, which in the ever-growing and evolving Hellraiser lore certainly offer many options for a future portrayal of the horror queen. Ashley Lawrence, who for a long time coped so well with the role, is past her prime and may not be able to play the young character we are used to. On the other hand, the script may require a mature and aging version of Kirsty Cotton Hellraiser, who really knows how to pamper fans with secrets. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us, if you don't have a good one yet, and be sure, thanks to everyone you like.